All right, thank you, Mary. Most of us will live longer than we imagine, but that doesn't mean it's top of mind. Surveys show 3 in 10 Americans who are 40 and older say that growing older is just something they just don't want to think about. We're not just thinking today, but we're talking about the 5 W's of chronic illness care. And for that, we bring in Dr. Bob Pokorski. Doctor, good morning.
Good morning, Mike.
First, I want to talk about long-term care. What are the most common reasons for needing long-term care?
Mike, we need this care if we have to have help with the activities of daily living later in life. This is with help with eating, dressing, changing our clothes, this kind of thing, walking. 2 reasons we might need it. We might need short-term care or long-term care. If we need short-term care, it's usually for conditions such as cancer or heart attack. The care needed is short, a couple of days, a couple of weeks. Or you might need long-term care, and that's for conditions that we dread, Alzheimer's, serious stroke, and here the care need is much longer, Mike. It could be many years or even our remainder of our lifetime.
Sure. I want you to define the 5 W's of chronic illness care for us, if you could.
It's a complicated subject. Simple way to remember it, it's the who, why, where, when, and what duration. Who will need chronic care? At age 65, most of us, Mike, it's 7 in 10 people will need this kind of care later in life. But a lot of us are in denial. We did a survey at Prudential, and we asked folks, what do you think the chances are you're going to need care? Only 1 in 5 of the women thought that they would need care. It's actually more like 7 in 10.
Right.
So that's the who. Why are we going to need it? Either for short-term reasons or long-term care. Where are we going to need it? Primarily at home, provided by our families. When will we need it? At older ages. And what duration? Very variable, but most of the care will be provided at home by our families.
Yeah, and that brings up another topic. When it comes to providing that care, who's more likely to step into that role? Is it women or is it men?
Well, men are providing more care now than they did in the past, but it's still mainly women. 2/3 of all caregivers are women. Wives, daughters, daughters-in-law, sisters. And Mike, not only are they caring for their loved ones at home, they're trying to work full-time, they're raising their own families. And because women live so much longer than men on average, they may have to take care of multiple family members during a long life.
Yeah, you bring up a good point, but whether it's for yourself or maybe another family member, for all of us, what are the top 3 things to consider when you look at developing one of these long-term strategies?
Well, first and foremost, you want to recognize that you are at risk. As I said, at age 65, 7 in 10 of us are going to need this kind of care. So recognize you're at risk. And then you want to have a plan. And the plan could either involve savings or buying an insurance to pay for it. If you choose insurance as one of your options, there is good news because there are more choices today. For example, now life insurance policies have riders that will allow us to access the tax-free death benefits in our life insurance policy if we need this care later in life.
Yeah, you bring up a good point, that financial impact of that chronic illness. How big of an issue is this for families out there?
It's a huge issue, highly variable though, Mike, because most of the care is going to be provided at home, and it's the kind of thing that you and I do because we're family. Yeah. So in these cases, the care expense may not be too high, but things may go a different direction. You may need to hire a caregiver into your home. You may need assisted living, and the big expense is if you or I reach a nursing home later in life.
Yeah, there's just so many things to think about, especially if you're providing care for someone. You may not be able to do it for a sustained period of time. How about a website to go to with more information, Doctor?
You can go to our Prudential website, which is prudential.com/chronic care.
Dr. Pokorski, thanks for your time today. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Mike.
All right, Mary, over to you.